Since the beginning of the vlogging channel, my videos involve visiting convention centers and other special events provided by the venue around my place. Conventions are the essential part of participating in workshops, panels, and other scheduled events to help visualize community perspective. Greater Los Angeles is one prime example that hosts the most number of conventions across the region, especially if it's in anime, comic, and gaming related stations. Today, here are some of the top conventions to visit throughout the time span. However, conventions that I have not visited are excluded from the list. Number 10. SoCal Gaming Expo. SoCal Gaming Expo is a gaming convention where gaming vendors sell vintage consoles and video games. Attendees can explore old games, interact with sponsors, play tournaments, and obtain autographs from voice actors. Some attendees even dress up as their favorite video game characters for cosplay purposes, which also hosts a mini cosplay contest. It also features panel rooms for attendees and guests about voice acting video games. Overall, this small convention can help newcomers interact with old games for the first time. When going to SoCal Gaming Expo, some of the most benefits that includes when you order a badge, you can pre-pick up before the event. You can also find large, rare, vintage collectible video games and consoles from most of the vendors. You could also find voice actors and sponsors, which you could get some autographs from them, and you could participate in any activities such as panel rooms, tournaments, and even cosplay contests. However, what I don't like about SoCal Gaming Expo is that only one half of the exhibit hall is used, which makes the event slightly smaller. Also, there's going to be certain collectibles that are either expensive and or hard to find. And because of the pricing, the event is a bit more expensive for the event size like this, especially when buying a parking pass and buying a badge or a 2-day. However, SoCal Gaming Expo announced that they will be moving from Ontario Convention Center to Pasadena Convention Center for a bigger event in the future. Number 9. Collecticon. Collecticon is a 2-day event across different cities where attendees can buy vintage collectible items and video games. Generally, this event is large enough to accommodate vendors that sell exclusive merch and rare pieces of collectible items. Additionally, Collecticon also brings voice actors into this event where attendees and guests can buy signed autographs and videos from them. It also provides panel schedule for voice actors where they can record and ask questions about video game voice acting. Overall, this event basically to collect autographs and collectible products. Even though Long Beach Collecticon no longer hosts here, it is instead hosted in the future at Los Angeles. But despite this, some of the most benefits includes they have large anime and video game vendors, and they also provided video game voice actors with a panel schedule, of course. The stages for mostly entertainment to which you want to record or just enjoy yourself by dancing. And you can also buy the optional VIP badge too, at the expense. However, some of the downsides at Collecticon is that because of the stage position inside of the exhibit hall, the stage has pretty much a heavy noise environment and noise pollution. Additionally, when lining up for voice actors, it tends to get more crowded and you could wait hours and even the whole event longer. Also, when buying VIP and general attendee, there are some perks that are significantly different from what others have. Also, when entering Collecticon, there's not enough side activities such as gaming and tournaments, so don't expect to find some other activities to do around this convention. Number 8. ComicCon Revolution. ComicCon Revolution is a 2-day event hosted at Ontario Convention Center where attendees can inspect and obtain collectible comics. This event hosts different sections that includes vendors, hallway, artist alley, activities, and even panels room. Some other areas also feature a few voice actors and other sponsors throughout the convention. This event is more local and budget friendly if anyone wants to experience visiting Comic Cons for the first time and potentially in future conventions too. The good thing about ComicCon Revolution is that you can pre-pick up the badge before the event starts. It also has a very large convention space that also hosts vendors, collectibles, comics, merch, sponsors, and artists. It also features multi-schedule panel rooms that also includes voice actors and some comic artists. As of now, they also feature outdoor food trucks and some activities to do, such as the tabletop gaming. However, some of the downsides about ComicCon Revolution is that sometimes in common Comic Con places, it requires a lot of luck searching for any of the comics that they have. Also, if you want to see what's outside, you're going to have to go outside, and that's where you have to line up all the way at the end, which causes re entry issues. Also, if you wait too long, the prices increase as the event gets closer. Sometimes the guest lines can be unusually long as well for some voice actors and some authors. Number 7. Anime Fire, or just Anime Pastilla and Anime Riverside. This 2-day event hosts different conventions across cities. Anime Pastilla usually hosts near the end of fall season, while Anime Riverside near the end of spring season. Both events operate similar to each other since they are a part of Anime Fire. Likewise, these events typically occupy most of the convention spaces to provide room for voice actors, panel rooms, vendors hallway, and artist alley. Additionally, they host outdoor or indoor activities such as stages, quests, karaokes, and maid cafes. They also provide food trucks for comfort, although Old Komodo Kitchen remains the only type to participate across all conventions. While this could have been more high-ranking, it remains one of the top 10 conventions to visit, which is recommended for newcomers. Notably, Anime Fire has numerous pros for Anime Pastilla and Riverside. One of the benefits is that you can buy an early bird's pass with a pre-pickup date. You could also find very large merch, vendors, artists, and also secondary shopping centers due to the convention center's placement. And there's a lot of activities to look around, such as maid cafes, you can sing karaoke's, play arcade games, attend stages, do some quests particularly, and also meet the voice actors and panelist room. Also, when attending Anime Riverside, parking is generally more free around this area as long as you don't pick the ones that are paid. And everything else is more of a convention-friendly environment for newbies. And they also have food trucks, which is only Okino Kitchen, and an after-hour party, which costs around $20 to get in. However, the only downside is that if you wait too long to buy the early bird's pass, then it will raise up by $10. Additionally, there are some security vulnerabilities, particularly the recent events in Anime Riverside to where Maid Cafe loses one of the posters. Also, the badge material is rather weak, meaning that if you ripped one of the badge materials, then you're gonna either have to get a replacement or get another one. Also, exclusive to Anime Pastilla, the mobile hotspot is unusually weak here, making it hard to contact your friends and any other person that you want to send. Also, when lining up for voice actors, some voice actors tend to get crowded near the voice actors table, meaning that if there's a long line throughout the whole event, then you're gonna have to wait several hours until you get it signed. Also, prior to Anime Pastilla 2022, they used to have e-gaming rooms in the other side of the convention. As of now, both Anime Pastilla and Riverside no longer have the option to host any e-gaming rooms and tournaments. Also, some attendees should be aware about weather vulnerabilities near Riverside, meaning that if it rains or starts heating up, then it won't be a good convention for them. Number 6. Anime Impulse at LA Fairplex. Anime Impulse is a 2-day event in LA Fairplex along with Asian American Expo, Sneaker Expo, and K-Play Fest, where general attendees gather around other communities and interact with several vendors across the convention. The 4-in-1 event typically starts at mid-January for all other attendees willing to come to this event. Also, the area is known to host dinner parties and LA County fairs, usually during the month of May. Aside from that, Anime Impulse attendees get to experience walking around Fairplex and purchase products from other conventions across the area. Even though I didn't explain as much what's around in a 4-in-1 convention, I'm just going to keep Anime Impulse simple. So, purchasing a ticket grants you access to Asian American Expo, Sneaker Expo, K-Play Fest, and Anime Impulse. And this is better suited for entry-level experience before LA County Fair. And they also provide large food stations, large vendors, and numerous artists. And it also has some arcade rooms inside one of the vendors' hallway and stages. You can also interact only with maid cafes and order takeout foods. Unfortunately, there's no dine-in for this event, even though they had one from the last year. However, what I don't like about Anime Impulse is that when you enter near Anime Impulse gates too early, they will ask you to turn around and find a different parking spot, so you cannot expect to get an early parking. Otherwise, you're just simply going to wait out there and wait until they instruct you to enter. Weather vulnerabilities is also another issue when attending Anime Impulse. If it rains throughout the whole convention, then attendees could get wet and they'll have to bring an umbrella so that they could find an indoor space. So rain could worsen the conditions at around this convention. Another downside to this is that there's poor entry management that also lacks any security features, and they rely on only one single guard checking each and every person to enter this Anime Impulse. Also, there's no resting area for this convention, so the only reliable area is just to go outside at the tables and then just rest for now. So, though resting, you might want to continue walking further. Lastly, there's not that many activities to do around here aside watching shows and any other arcade games. So, there's not that much things to do around here. Number 5, AX Chibi, also known as Anime Expo Chibi. Anime Expo Chibi is a 0 to 2 day local convention at Ontario Convention Center for entry-level attendees. This event takes up a lot more space around this convention and features numerous rooms including mock settings, vendors, artist alley, manga lounge, workshops, e-gaming, maid cafe, arcade machines, and plaza. Even though the event is smaller than the original Anime Expo, it is more budget-friendly for those that visit this convention and typically not very crowded. If you attend Anime Expo Chibi, the tickets is not that expensive than Anime Expo. Also, it comes with an embassy wrist strap and pre-pickup with an outdoor event if you collect one and then scan it through the checkpoint. Also, this is more of a better alternative or entry-level experience than Anime Expo. Also, when lining up for AX Chibi, the event is not that actually crowded unlike Anime Expo, to which attracts almost every vendors and attendees across the nation. Despite this, it's pretty much a very oversized event to match the same experience as Anime Expo, which includes events, outdoors, food trucks, activities, and vendors and artists. Also, when attending AX Chibi during Saturday, the event is notably longer in this area. Also, they feature maid cafes and unique background props to enhance the experience. Now, here are some major downsides. When attending AX Chibi, it's 1 to 2 days less than Anime Expo, and it's not attracting that much international vendors and attendees. Also, when purchasing tickets, beware of a limited number of tickets, otherwise they can sold out. Also, the experience compared to Anime Expo is not actually the same, but roughly similar but limited experience. Also, some of the merches that they provided are either expensive or cannot be afforded. One final touch to this is that the parking rate is notoriously expensive, unlike the $15 version. Number 4, Ronin Expo. Ronin Expo is a one-day event hosted in Los Angeles where attendees gather around with vendors and artists within the small community. Some features involve activities, food stations, panels, and small stages for entertainment. Even though this is a small event that lasts 4 hours, it is a fresh start experiencing activities across this convention. Lastly, attendees can also find unique artifacts from one of the vendors. If you're attending Ronin Expo, which is actually one of my favorites, one of the benefits is that you can afford the ticket prices at a very low cost. You could perform smaller activities including e-gaming and stage. There are some food stations and Okumo kitchens that you can try to eat. Some vendors and artists also come here as well, so you can find some that you enjoy or like the most, thus making it as an indoor environment, and they also even host small panel schedules. Some few cons about Ronin Expo is that this is only a one-day event despite it being longer. It is also a small area that covers up only a few spaces, and it's also hard to locate any affordable parking spaces. Number 3, Sonic Revolution. If you are a Sonic fan living in California, then this convention might be for you. Sonic Revolution takes place across different locations every June where Sonic fans gather and participate in small activities and scheduled events. Despite it being small, It features some iconic Sonic artists across some regions into this convention, and has vendors and voice actors from previous games. Some other features include cosplay contests and raffle tickets as well. Overall, this convention is generally to showcase Sonic content creation as well as interacting with popular Sonic artists too. As one of my favorite conventions when attending ComicCon Revolution, it provides free parking space if possible, special items for early arrivals, which I usually go there early, and anyone can attend, including Sonic fans and some gamers too, or some anime fans as well. There's going to be former voice actors of Sonic the Hedgehog series, to which you can get an autograph of them. You could also meet Sonic creators, artists, and authors such as YouTubers and people from Twitter or X. You could also find panel rooms, which is now a feature for Sonic Revolution 2023, and you can find scheduled activities and participate in prizes for cosplay contests and raffle. However, some downsides about attending Sonic Revolution is that it only lasts for just a single day, and there's barely any activities to do around this convention besides interacting with artists and vendors. Also, you cannot bring any food or drink, and there's no food stations allowed around this area. And this event is pretty much a small convention, can't have like numerous features. Number 2, Anime Los Angeles. This is mainly a primary venue that I attend every year. Anime Los Angeles, or ALA in short, is a 4-day event where attendees gather around and visit numerous activities across the area. Like Anime Expo, Anime Los Angeles features newer activities that involve watching AMVs, read manga, take a quiet break, entering video rooms, go into prize rooms, and find other activities. This event takes up almost the entire Long Beach convention throughout the event, but to keep the attendees active, they offer ribbon hunting across all vendors, artists, and attendees. Lastly, it features an exclusive masquerade event every Saturday to view and watch contestants win trophies and rewards. Overall, this event is considered much bigger to view around and perform numerous activities. Anime Los Angeles offers early bird ticket prices and pre-pickup when purchased at the earliest convenience. Also, this is a 4-day event that lasts for considerably longer than usual conventions, and they also feature multiple entrances when entering in conventions. Additionally, this is a pretty large convention to navigate across vendors, artists, and also food stations too, as well as some large activities involving scavenger hunt, gaming, manga, video rooms, masquerade, quad rooms, and other special stages. They also host large panel schedules across almost every room inside Long Beach Convention Center. Anime Los Angeles also features an exclusive ribbon hunt to which you can collect as many ribbons as you can from all vendors, artists, and every other people around you. And lastly, they also have maid cafes too. While I can't think of any other types of downsides about Anime Los Angeles, once you purchase the tickets, there's no refunds, and ticket prices gradually increases, making it double the amount of the early bird ticket price. And when navigating around Anime Los Angeles, it's very difficult to find some vendors and artists without using a map. Also, if you're using maid cafes, be wary of the long lines near maid cafes, as well as long orders too. Lastly, staying here at Anime Los Angeles for too long can find it very boring because of a long overnight stay across Anime Los Angeles, but overall, find some activities if you don't want it to feel boring. Before we get to the number 1 spot, here are some more of the honorable mentions.
PayPal or Venmo.
Oh, and there are a bit too many voice actors inside this section, so possibly I may not film everyone like this. There's some comics as well, and pretty much there's very few vendors around here. Some vendors haven't arrived early. Number 1, AniFest. As the number 1 spot out of all conventions, AniFest is a place to experience anime culture and tradition. AniFest occurs at Torrance Cultural Arts Center, where attendees join and interact with few vendors and artists. In addition to those features, attendees can also interact near the garden, get food from community vendors, attend maid cafe sessions, and participate in activities and shows. The environment around this convention is much more peaceful compared to other events, although stages can still happen at any given time. Overall, AniFest is known to be the most popular choice for entry-level attendees and its atmosphere across the city. The most surprising benefits at AniFest is that the ticket price is not actually that expensive. If you enter this environment in Torrance Cultural Arts Center, it's very peaceful. They provide a free parking space, and there's a lot of cultural attractions across the garden. You can also find some few multiple programs across the event schedule. You can also find vendors and artists as well. You might also find some mixed indoor and outdoor activities too, and you can buy some food stations across several of them, including Okubo Kitchen. However, there's some few cons that I've noticed at AniFest. It's only a one-day event, and it's subjectable to weather, and the event is a bit pretty small in some cases, and only a few from different series attend here if you interact with some artists and vendors. And lastly, there's no gaming stations, unfortunately, such as arcades and e-gaming rooms. So that's all the events they have already. And that's all for the top 10 conventions to visit around Greater Los Angeles. If you do enjoy my content or agree with me, leave a comment below. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel and other social media platforms in my About page. This is VlogWithAvroTF, signing out.